On this episode of My African Wedding, the couple Emeze and Julius are both from the southern part of Nigeria in West Africa. Though they both live in Washington, D.C., it took a matchmaker to bring these two lovebirds together.
I'm Julius Uwe,
I'm Emeze Uwe,
and this is our African wedding.
We're introduced by a lady at my local Yoruba association in Washington, D.C. There's a lady in the meeting that she's a very good woman.
I call her Auntie P, Palace Obeide. She's actually Urhobo and her husband is Benin.
I told her, look, I'm a single guy and I'm a student. I don't have a wife right now. I'm searching.
She told me, oh, am I open to non-Benin, non-Edo? And I was like, yeah, sure, you never know.
The first week, she invited me to her house and told me what I want. I told her, look, I need a honest, Christian, beautiful lady. And she introduced my princess to me.
Even though the couple had been introduced, this definitely was not love at first sight.
Julius called me, I think on a Sunday. I was at a friend's house. She just had her son, so I was helping her babysit. And he called me like 3 times and I didn't pick up, and he left me messages, oh, call me back. And I'm like, okay, this guy is actually stalking me, what's going on?
The very first day I met her, I already know this woman will be my wife because her beauty, and I speak pidgin English to her, she did not reply. She don't understand what I'm saying. So I know that, okay, this woman, she's exactly what I'm looking for.
So he's like, let's meet on Monday, which was the following day. And then we went out to a restaurant. First of all, he came late. And I'm like, okay, this is not going to work. So we started talking, and the first day he met me, he was like, he's going to marry me. I'm like, okay, this is too much going on. But I was like, okay, let's just be friends first and see how it goes.
From there, we hooked up. Sometimes we'll have arguments,
Julius was so sure Emeze was his wife from the first time they met, but he had to do it the African way. First, by going to Nigeria to ask her mother for her hand in marriage.
So I traveled to Nigeria and I went to Abuja to meet her mother, and I went to her mother's office and I said, look, my daughter, I love her so much and I want to marry her. Now I'm a student, I don't have 20 figures right now, but I love your daughter, and with time, me and her can build a future together, understand? And thank God that she said, okay, no problem, you look like a nice guy and no problem, go ahead, you understand? So I was so happy. And I called her, the very minute I left the office, I was like, Emeze, your mom said no problem, so I was so happy, I came back and we started talking. I already know that, okay, this is a long journey for me and the end will be wedding. The proposal was nice. It was really, really nice because I asked God that I want to do something different, you understand? So I was thinking what to do. I have different ideas, I went to online and looked for different ideas. A couple of people assist me, give me different ideas. But my idea is, okay, I want something that will blow her away, you understand? I want something that will blow her away. She's very smart that every idea I implement, she found out and crushed it. So I rented the car and the guy came to my house, picked me up. We drove to this church, the church in Jesus House, DC, the Silver Spring. So that day was a Hallelujah Day. It's like Halloween Day in America, Hallelujah night. So we waited in the car. So immediately the church closed, I saw her coming out from the church. I told the driver, that's her, let's go. You understand? So we drove slowly. We stopped at the front of the church. And I just saw her coming out from the church. The guy just opened the door for me, and as I burst out from the car, all hell broke loose. So it was fun, She was running around. I just be calm, staring at her with a nice bouquet on my hand and with the ring in my pocket. I just got on my knees and I proposed. So that was it.
Since they were both formerly from the same state, it was not difficult merging both cultures.
Well, Edo states and Delta states, Urhobo, there used to be one state called Bendel State. So now they are divided into Edo State and Delta State. So even some words he even says in Urhobo, That's exactly what we use in Benin. That's what we use in Benin City. So in terms of merging both cultures, I think it wasn't that difficult. You know, I had to learn some things like, you know, Migwo. That's what I heard they love that. So I say that all the time to every Urhobo person I see. I spoke to his mom. I love his mom, you know, his siblings, and they had to teach me, okay, this is what we do, this is what we say, how we do things. So I don't think it was that difficult. But the time my mom met him, he was like, okay, he looks a lot like my dad, and he acts a lot like my dad. And, you know, it blended, so it works out perfectly.
Emeze and Julius first have to have a traditional wedding before their white wedding. Traditional engagements are filled with a burst of culture and interesting practices.
I still wanted a little bit of my culture because I can't completely abandon it. My parents are Benin, you know, so I had to bring that a little bit into play and then bring his Urhobo culture, saying, okay, this is what I'm gonna present. That's my family. That's where I'm heading to. So I think it was a lot of fun, you know. It was a lot of fun. I love kids, and I assist at church with the children's church, Jesus House DC, Children of Promise, and a lot of parents have told me they want their child to be at our wedding for our bridal train, and I felt okay. I don't want too many children, so I felt okay. I can incorporate all these kids into the traditional wedding, and then figure out a way to bring them in or bring them out of the wedding. So I felt for the traditional wedding, since it's Urhobo, I'll have 7. The number 7 was very important to me. So I'll have 7 girls dressed up in Urhobo outfits, 7 boys dressed up in the Urhobo outfit that we were also wearing.
That part I have to dress as an Urhobo man, she dressed as an Urhobo woman, and all the kids, 14 kids, 7 dressed like me, and 7 dressed like her. You understand? So that represents the Urhobo culture.
And then 7 girls dress up in the Benin outfits.
14 kids, 7 for me, 7 for her. So that represents the Benin culture. That's the traditional process. Sing Benin music, we dance Benin dance. You know, everything we have to do, it has to be Benin.
So that was 28 kids in total. A whole lot going on. But it worked, it was beautiful, it worked out perfectly, it was gorgeous. I think there were 2 or 3 fake brides. I think there were 2. And basically it's just to find out from him, are you really sure you know the kind of woman you want to marry? How does she look? You know, how is her build? How is her facial features? Are you sure? Is this her? Are you sure you know who you're about to get married to? So just to let him know that, okay, just to find out from him if he knows what he's doing. And he does know what he's doing.
Of course.
As part of their tradition, they first had to begin their ceremony with the break-in of the kola nuts.
When a group of herders assemble, like in Nigeria culture, you break kola nut to start every occasion. That represents respecting the herders, because they are the one who they'll pray for the kola nut and break the kola nut, and they are the one who get it first. After they finish taking the one they want, and everybody else can go ahead and have the leftover. So the breaking of kola nuts stand for opening the ceremony and prayer.
Although the traditional engagement was over, there were other traditional customs they still had to follow.
Then they did something which I also thought was very different, that I'd never seen or heard before. After the traditional wedding, we had to go to his house. So his Urhobo family from Jesus House told me that I had to take one of my friends with me into his house, and then I had to get like holy water, clean water. So they had to wash my feet before I stepped into his house. So we did that after the traditional wedding. I think I got home like 4 o'clock that morning. So, you know, so when I was coming into his house, they washed my feet, saying, you know, this is a new home, this is a new family, this is purity, this is so that was different, very different for me. And then I got into his house. They prayed for me, saying that, you know, I'm a new bride. And I also had one of my aunts. My aunts came from London, Auntie Sarah. She also followed me, because they said they needed a woman who her first daughter was alive, that was my own family member. So she accompanied me also, along with my maid of honor. And then when I got to his house, they put me on his bed. I stayed in there for like 2 hours, and then I had to tell my maid of honor to assist me. So she took care of me. She served me food as a new bride. So I never heard or seen that before. So that was very new, and I thought that was very unique, you know, from his culture.
With the traditional wedding over, Emeze is ready to move on to the details of her white wedding. She was extremely particular about her colors and her Cinderella carriage.
Lovely. Okay, I've always wanted to have a carriage. I've always seen myself as Cinderella. I love Cinderella. I love the story of Cinderella. I just love everything about Cinderella. How, you know, she was poor, and of course we know Cinderella's story, so I won't go into that. But I always loved her courage, and I always saw myself into a carriage. And I was like, no matter what, I have to get a Cinderella carriage. It took me, I don't even know how many years, because I'd asked so many people that got married, and they said, oh, we don't know. And I went on Google, I searched and searched, I looked for the best deals. I found one that I loved. I was just excited. So that was I think the ideal part of the wedding for me. And then I love colors. I think initially I had 18 colors for my wedding, and I had to call my sister. My sister was like, okay, what's going, no, sorry, Emeze, this can't work. You know, I had to break it down and then break it down. But I love colors. So I incorporated turquoise, burnt orange, and fuchsia for our wedding. And then I love decorations. I think it's a wedding, it's once in a lifetime. So I wanted something very elegant and beautiful and exquisite. And what else? I think, well, that sums it up.
Emeze and her late father were very close. Julius knew this was going to be the hardest part of the wedding for her.
Well, my dad is deceased. He died November 11th, 2005. And I felt, okay, since my dad is deceased, my mom and I were very close. I might as well have my mom also walk me down, apart from my brother. So I have an immediate younger brother. So my mother, Mrs. Clara Abangbe, walks me halfway, and then my brother, Aizenosa Abangbe, walks me the other half, and then gave my hand to my husband in marriage. So I felt that was very significant, and I felt it was ideal and proper, because even if my dad is not there, my mom represents my dad, because obviously husband and wife are now one. So my mom walks me halfway, and then my brother walks me halfway. I think when I saw my mom, just the sight of my mom, I just bursted out. I was crying. And then when my brother gave my hand to my husband in marriage, I was also crying, because I remember my husband kept on saying, stop crying. And then my maid of honor kept on giving me napkins, or was constantly giving me tissue and napkins, and said, stop crying, don't mess up your makeup, stop crying. So I had to realize that, okay, it's my wedding day, I still need to look cute and pretty. But I felt definitely my dad. I think I wanted my dad to be there, but you know, that's how life is sometimes.
What proved to be the most challenging for the couple was securing an MC. Every time they figured it out, something seemed to always go wrong.
Absolutely. Weddings are always very stressful. You know, even if you have family, you have wedding coordinator, wedding planners. We had some challenges with MCs. We had called a couple of people, they were too expensive and stuff. So we now decided, you know, we'll look for someone that knows both of us very well and that is familiar with us. We still couldn't find anybody. We continued to search, we still couldn't find anybody. Anyway, the day of the wedding, the night before the wedding, our wedding coordinator, Shile, had to now contact Wale and Yemisi, and they said they would do it, and we're like, are you serious? Like, seriously. They did it, and it was the best thing that happened. You know, I was just so blessed. They wore my colors, they didn't even know about the colors, they wore the same colors, and we had a swell time. We had a blast.
And I love the game too.
Yes,
yeah,
the game was excellent.
Who said I love you first? Who takes the longest to get dressed?
You do. Ah, but they raised your shoe up. Sorry.
No.
Yeah.
You raised my shoe up, but
Right, you raised my shoe up.
And you raised mine up.
Yes.
Then let's tell the truth now.
No,
after the reception, it's you. Okay, who took the most time today?
Oh, it's me.
Okay, fine. My sister got us some favors, and it had our names on it and our wedding day. And then I love colour lilies. I love colour lilies. So I had a candle of colour lilies, and then I also had a photo album of colour lilies. So we gave that as our favors to people. So we placed that on the table, and then people took it home. So that I thought that was really nice. I love colour lilies.
The first dance was obviously not rehearsed because of their schedules, but Emeze and Julius found a way to pull it off.
They play our favorite song. Our first dance was a blues, and we didn't rehearse about the dance.
Yeah.
We just say, okay, you guys stand up and first dance. So yeah, music start playing, and we didn't even rehearse or do nothing, you know. So if you notice me, I start, implementing new steps, forming activities, doing all sorts of stuff, So it was nice. At the end, I kneel and kiss her hand, try to be nice, nice guy stuff, But it was good.
Well, we're very busy, and the day of the wedding, the Saturday morning, I think 3:30 in the morning, I had a car accident. So I think just my husband, he's my husband now. He knew, my brother knew, my maid of honor, my maid of honor and I actually had the car accident together. My wedding coordinator, wedding planner. I think that was it. I didn't tell my mom. I didn't tell anybody else because I didn't want hell to break loose. So I had a car accident 3:30 in the morning of the day of my wedding. For me to get myself together, I still had to do my hair. A whole long story. Before I got back to the hotel, it was a whole lot going. So I think I was just so exhausted and tired. And then he had a busy schedule. Throughout that week, we didn't even have time to plan. So that's why it kind of looks, well, we still worked it out though, but it kind of looks a little bit interesting. I'll use that word, but we worked it out.
Emeze and Julius' wedding was not complete until they changed to their native outfits. At this point, the party was ready to begin.
The traditional music represents my culture, and if you notice me that day, I dance a lot that day because I like the music, and my clothes is like, I dress traditional, the music is playing, it's like, go, let's go do this, you understand? So I danced a lot that day, and I was really happy because it's like a dream country, you understand? Like, okay, this is me married to this beautiful woman, you understand? So it means everything. So I dance a lot, I have fun, I'm serious, I have fun.
I don't think I've ever seen him dance that much.
Yeah, I dance a lot that day, I have fun that day.
Really?
Yeah, it come to pass.
He came out of his
walk out from a shell. It was good.
Well, I think incorporating your culture. I think a lot of us nowadays, we've forgotten our culture, our tradition, which makes us who we are. And I think incorporating that, even though we're not in our culture where we are originally from, we still need to imbibe that with where we are and where we're from. And even if we're born in America, we still need to know where we're from, our culture, our tradition. And we live in America. We had to incorporate that, we had to bring it back. And I remember a couple of people even asked us after the wedding, they were like, wow, why did you guys change twice? Why did you even bring all these different things? I had to explain to them that, look, it's our culture, that's where we're from, that's who we are,
So what makes African weddings significant is bringing Africans together. Somebody might be living in New York, they might come for the wedding. It's all about connection. So African wedding, when Africans hear that Africans getting married, they're more than happy to come because they are learning new things. You understand? The food and dance, good music, it's deep. It's deep.
What kind of food did we even have that was, what kind of food?
Especially Nigerians have good food because we have not just rice, we have different varieties, you understand? So when you have good food in your wedding, people talk about it. You understand? Because they come, they eat very well, they fill up, good music. They'll go tell somebody, that wedding was huge. Just because they eat very well, they will talk good about the wedding. But if they come, you play good music, no good food, they say, don't mind her. She's not ready to marry, go marry. You understand? So people would eat food for throat, go drink water.
But I think for the traditional wedding, we had some traditional food, apart from the usual rice.
Right.
beans, dodo, meat, chicken. We had owo. From Edo State. We have owo, and then they also have owo urobos.
Right.
But it's different. Our
Right.
owos are actually two different soups, kind of soup sauce. So we had owo, and then you eat owo with. We eat the Benins. We eat owo with plantain, boiled plantain or yam, and then they eat their owo.
We eat it with starch.
They eat it with starch.
Starch is a cassava, grounded, fettered, and stored for a couple of days, and it dried. That's what you call starch.
Starch.
The process: empty pan, red oil, stir it for like 15 minutes. You stick together and use it to eat the ogo. That's starch.
So
that's what you call starch.
that was that we had that, and then we also Benin's also eat starch, but we eat starch not with owo. So that one I'm still trying to get, because they eat owo with
the
starch.
traditional marriage significant matching to culture together. You know.
I'm still trying to figure that
And
out.
know
So
themselves.
we eat starch with banga soup. And funny enough, even before I met him, I never ever in my life thought I'll marry an Urobo man. My best food, my favorite food till today is actually starch and banga soup. And that's what
And we're the
Urobos eat.
originators.
Yeah. So it's actually very interesting, because my mom says it all the time. She's like, how could this happen? God orchestrated it all.
God pre-planned all this.
Because my favorite food has always been starch and banga soup, and they are the originators.
Yep.
So I think food, If I need to do my wedding, marriage all over again, I'll definitely marry him. Definitely.
That wedding was one of the best weddings. If I have to do it all over again, I will still marry my beautiful wife, and everything will still be the same.